I'm looking for $60 to $80, and I think it can happen this year.
You know, speaking of oil, Bob, someone told me, and I wanted to ask you, that the Saudis are actually not so much running out of oil, but they're running out of water. And I didn't know if you had heard anything like that, and this was from a person who lives in that area. And,
well, they can always build desalinization plants. I mean, it's been 50 years of innovation in that field. Mm-hmm. It's just that it's rather expensive. But anyway, they could do that.
But they use water to pump that oil, don't they? For pressure, they use that water now because their oil is so low. They have no pressure.
Yeah.
So they
in some of the wells, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using injection and things like that. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a hard question to answer, and I think we've covered it. We have a list of countries in just the past 20 years that have lived through both economic and financial collapse of their monetary system and government. They include Eastern Europe, Poland, Hungary, Ukraine, Soviet Union, and once in 1990, and then again almost 10 years later, in the Russia in 1998-99, when they defaulted on their debt. That is Brazil and Argentina. And first, as the process of economic failure unraveled, that the series or sequence of events mirror or differ from each country's example to the next. If they did mirror, how so? And what is the specific sequence of events? Can you recap and discuss what happened in the Eastern European countries in 1989? And it goes on, when currencies are devalued initially, what was the exchange rate ratio to the dollar? Well, I don't know that. But I do know that the devaluations took place because they wanted to be competitive. And for the last 25 years, all nations have been tinkering with their currencies, including the U.S. dollar. But most of the rigging of currencies has taken place at among exporters, particularly large exporters, and China, India, even the euro. And that's why we need to implement tariffs on goods and services, because the United States sees that China is printing yuan and then turning it into dollars, which drives the yuan down in value, and buys treasuries with that. They should tell them, no, we don't want to sell you the treasuries, because all you're doing is running your currency down. That's really what should happen. And everybody else has been doing it. There is no level playing field. I mean, nobody plays fair. And the only way to stop them from being unfair is to set up tariffs. And they're going to come, and we're not far away. And everybody's bemoaning the fact, but tariffs are what are needed to revive the United States. Everybody has been screwing us, and it's over.
And we're just about over for the first half hour. That took a lot of thought for all those questions coming from one person.
Well, Christina is obviously a hard-working, thoughtful, brilliant lady.
Well, when we ask for questions, we got them. And I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And we got some other questions coming in, and we'll be touching those in the the next half hour, and we do hope that you stay with us, and we'll pick up a few questions from Wednesday that we didn't get to, and we'll always try to get to the questions if we run out of time with this program into the next one. And so we appreciate, and we will be heading to break. And thank you for joining us. And I'm just waiting for the music.
FirstAmendmentRadio.net. Since the beginning of time, kings have sought it, nations have fought for it. It has been traded, it has been borrowed, it has been purchased, it has been stolen. There's a reason for it. To secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity, invest with the security of gold and silver. Call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188 or visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. Listen to Financial Survival with your host Melody Cedarstrom and regular guest world-renowned economist Robert Chapman right here on FirstAmendmentRadio.com at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net or call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188. Toll free 1-800-375-4188.
And thank you for joining us this afternoon. You're listening to Financial Survival, sponsored by Discount Gold and Silver Trading. I'm Melody Cedarstrom, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. If you would like a complimentary issue to the International Forecaster, you can give us a call on our 800 number. And, Bob, would you like to tell us about the International Forecaster, please?
The forecast is about business, finance, economics, social and political issues all over the world. We publish by email on Wednesdays and Thursdays, run around 35 pages each time. And we have a hard copy that goes out twice a month to those who are not on the Internet. If you'd like to go to our site and take a look, that address is theinternationalforecaster.com. theinternationalforecaster.com. If you'd like to email us, have a question, that address is international_forecaster@yahoo.com. international_forecaster@yahoo.com.
1-800-375-4188 for your complimentary issue, and, of course, the gold and silver coins here at Discount Gold and Silver Trading. 1-800-375-4188. I went back to where gold, if I remember this, was $781 a couple of months ago, and that was an 18% increase. So while spot gold had an 18% increase, Mint State 64, $20 Saints, had a 38% increase. 62 Saints had a 36% increase. 63 Liberty had a 37% increase. So, folks, I'm hearing a lot of strange things going on out there, buying bars and things like this, and I'll guarantee you're not getting the same return. You might think you're saving a little bit of money on the front end, but when you see these types of returns, 38%, 36% versus an 18% gain in gold, you're not making out because you have more ounces of gold. So, and then you're going to have to end up trading because who wants a large bar? So be very careful out there, and sometimes you can't get caught up with everything that you hear because sometimes this is that old suitability factor. Just because it's talked about doesn't mean that it's made for you. Bob, just like you mentioned earlier when you were telling people they need 80% in gold, and you talk about the shares, it's gambling. But yet I have many people who call me and they say, I have $5,000. Well, that's probably not suitable for you to get into shares. And you need to look at all aspects of what you already have and what you're looking to add. So, it takes sense. It takes being basic and simple. And anytime anything gets complicated, I'll guarantee you that you won't fare very well. Just like I got a question in after the program talking about Lakota silver coins. Now, I don't know, Bob, if you've heard of those as yet. I guess it's this question came in from Will. The question is, as soon as I get the question here, the emergence of the Lakota silver coins have caused a bit of stir on the Internet. Would investing in the 1-ounce Lakota silver piece be considered as an opinion piece or a collectible? Would a Lakota silver coin trade back at a comparable price as the U.S. Silver Eagle? And
when you're the expert on that, my dear, give it to him.
Well, it's the same as the Liberty dollars used to be. You're going to pay the same price